Hey guys, it's me Courtney and welcome to my channel. In today's video we are going to be talking all about Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez. Alright, now if I'm being completely honest, I was not actually going to review this brand. I'm not like a huge fan of Selena Gomez. I'm one of those people, like I'm indifferent, like one way or the other. But for me, I guess she's not somebody that I look to for like makeup and stuff like that, so I wasn't really interested in the makeup that she came out with at first. However, I did do some research about what the brand is trying to do, what they stand for, all of that great stuff. This is from the Rare Beauty website. It says, Rare Impact, supporting the mental health of our community, employees, and partners is core to everything we do. By celebrating our uniqueness and supporting each other, we aim to reduce the stigma associated with talking about mental health and to reduce feelings of loneliness, which I thought was really dope. And also, if you go on Rare Beauty, it'll talk about the Rare Impact Fund. You guys can go on there and read that. I think they're doing some awesome work as far as that goes. So it got me a little bit more interested in the products and all of that stuff. The main products that I was interested in were the foundation and the concealer. That's always going to be the first thing that I look at with brands, just because I love skin, and I do feel like if your skin, your base isn't on point, then the rest of the makeup really doesn't matter. That being said, I did pick up the foundation and the concealer. I picked up one of the liquid blushes and a liquid lipstick as well. Now this is a Liquid Touch Weightless Foundation. It is $29 for 1 ounce. It comes in a total of 48 shades. I got the shade 400W. This one comes in 48 shades as well. And if I'm not mistaken, the way that it's supposed to work, whatever foundation shade you are, you should be able to actually pick up the concealer shade. It is supposed to be slightly lighter, so you can do a little bit of highlighting. However, I got 360W in the concealer because I wanted a little bit more brightness to the skin. The bottles themselves are frosted, but it is more of a plastic feel than glass, and it's not really that weighty. Like, it doesn't feel heavy and luxurious or anything, but I do think the actual packaging is pretty cute. Now I have been trying these products out for a while now, so I'm going to give you guys like my full opinion and all of that great stuff, but for now we're going to go ahead and get into the demo portion. Alright, so I already went in with my Tarte, what is this, the Timeless Smoothing Primer. I only went in like on the tip of my nose and then on this area right here, just for a little bit of pore fillage. I kind of like the way that this foundation works without any primer, so I didn't do anything around the perimeter of my face, except for like my regular skincare, which kind of settled in and everything like that. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the foundation, and then when you pull it out, it does have an applicator. It isn't a pump foundation, which I'm not a huge fan of this method of application. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with a few of those strokes on my face and pretty much just use what's on the applicator. And I think on this side, I'm gonna go ahead and use a sponge. No foundation, and then with foundation with a sponge. I actually really do enjoy this color match. I think on camera, especially up this close, it might look a little bit light. In person, I feel like it matches a lot better with my skin than a lot of other foundations that I use. Now the consistency of this actual formula is super duper runny, super watery, but it does feel like it has a slight oily texture too. It sort of reminds me of the Kat Von D True Portrait Foundation, like the feel of that, how that goes on originally. With that being said, I do feel like it has a very nice spreadability, like it spreads evenly on your skin, which I do love that. I'm gonna go in on this side with a brush. This is my Fenty foundation brush. I think it's, yep, 110. This is the side with the brush, and then this is the side with the sponge. And honestly, I feel like, again, this is one of those foundations that you could go either way with it. I do feel like the brush off top gives you a little bit more coverage, while your sponge sucks up a little bit more. So the actual look of this foundation is a little bit more on the luminous side, without it feeling like super oily or anything like that, so I do appreciate that once it settles into the skin. It's not a foundation that dries down completely. However, with my dry skin, it does work really well. I don't have to necessarily set everything. And I do feel like, just looking at my skin now, I feel like it looks very natural. It feels lightweight, but I do feel like my skin looks really good in this foundation. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my concealer, and I'm gonna go ahead and go into the normal spots that I do, which is under my eyes, on my chin, Cupid's bow, and I'm gonna do a little bit on my nose. I haven't been loving doing a ton of this stuff on my nose lately. Now, I like to especially get this area right here where I have that sort of indentation, to try to cover that up as much as possible to make all of this look like one seamless situation. So this is with one layer of concealer before powdering. This concealer to me is a very dewy concealer. It kind of mimics the foundation in that it is dewy without it feeling super sticky or anything like that. It sits really nicely on the skin. I feel like if you're somebody that has just smooth under eyes, you could go without setting it, especially if you want like that luminous look to your skin, and it would be beautiful. Of course I have to set it just because I have all these wrinkles and whatnot under. However, I have gone without setting it just to see what it would look like, and it didn't crease as bad as you would think it would. However, just for me and my comfort, I'm gonna set it anyway. Now, it is more of a medium coverage, so I am gonna add a little bit more, blend everything out, and then set it. To me, I do feel like this is along the lines of like the Luminous Silk concealer, or like the Pat McGrath concealer. I feel like it's like up there with it. I actually really do enjoy this one. This is with everything being set, and as you can see, it's super smooth in this area. I really like the combination of this with my Laura Mercier translucent honey setting powder is just perfection to me. I am gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my face. We'll come back, we'll have a little chat. Alright guys, so this is the look that we are going to be rocking today. So far, everything looks really put together, really nice. I do like that even though it's not actually a full coverage foundation, I do feel like with everything put together, it still feels like a full face of makeup, if you know what I mean. I did go in with the Soft Pinch liquid blush, which I'm going to leave sort of a video of me applying that. And as you can see, I always like to apply it to my hand first. I'll go in with the beauty blender and sort of tap it on that cheek area, and it'll sheer it out. I definitely don't recommend just going ham and just putting this completely on your face. I feel like you'll end up doing more damage control than anything. So I would definitely recommend just going in on your hand or on a palette or something, and then kind of tap off the excess and then go in that way, if that makes sense. But I really do enjoy this blush. I think it's beautiful. The other thing that I did pick up from Rare Beauty was the Lip Souffle Matte Lip Cream. All right, now these are $20. I didn't wear this actual shade today, but I'm gonna leave a picture or a video or something of me actually wearing this color. It's supposed to be more of like a blotted lip, I feel like. Originally when I got this color, which by the way the color is Brave, originally when I got this color I thought it was gonna look more like what's on my lips right now. However, it's very muted, and I do appreciate lippies that are like this. I feel like they're really soft, and as they fade throughout the day, it's not that noticeable. It kind of leaves you with like popsicle lip, if that makes sense. So if you're somebody that likes like the MAC, what is it, the Powder Kiss lipstick, or if you like the Ultra Blotted Lip from ColourPop, or the NYX Powder Puff Lippy, I feel like this is along the same lines of that. That being said, the current time is now 1:34. I'm gonna try to give this at least a 6-hour wear test. Everything that's on my face will be in the description box below, as well as a tutorial on this eye look. Should be out before or after this one, not quite sure, but stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, and I will see you guys in the next clip. Yes. All right guys, I am back, and this is what my face is looking like. It is now 9:32. I actually ended up doing a little bit longer of a wear test than I had planned on, but I guess that works out for you guys so you can see like the longevity of this foundation. As you can see, I have a little bit of oils coming through. Of course, my nose makeup wiped off. I did have my mask on today, and at one point I was in between cold and hot, so my nose started running a little bit, so that's what that is. I do have a very slight amount of creasing right here. I think that's just a thing on my skin. If there is a way to combat creasing in that way, you guys let me know down below. But other than that, like, it doesn't look bad, especially, again, I have dry skin, so when my oils actually do start peeking through, I never really mind it that much unless I look like a big grease ball or the makeup is literally falling off my face or breaking down, you know what I mean? The blush and everything else is still on, the highlighter's still on, my contour's still on, everything else is still in place. I actually think my skin and everything still looks really, really good. I could use some chapstick, honestly, but other than that, like, I still think it looks pretty good. The concealer didn't do any creasing, and as I said, with this concealer, I don't get a ton of it. I do believe, like, there was only one time that I tried this concealer where it did crease a little bit, and I did want to look online to see what the actual claims of the foundation and concealer were. All right, for the actual foundation, it does say it is a weightless foundation with concentrated pigments that feels barely there, while providing buildable medium to full coverage with a natural finish. I do feel like this is a pretty weightless, pretty comfortable foundation. Now, as far as it being medium to full, for me, I do feel like this is more of a light to medium coverage. I have tried to build this foundation up, and in the times that I tried to build it up, I feel like it starts to get a little cakey, it starts to feel a little cakey without giving me extra coverage necessarily, if that makes sense. So I would actually put it at more of a light to medium coverage, a little bit more coverage than like your Luminous Silk foundation, but a lot less coverage than any other full coverage out there, if that makes sense. And then as far as the concealer goes, it talks about it being a lightweight hydrating concealer with cake-free medium to full coverage that lasts while brightening skin with the radiant finish. Definitely lightweight, hydrating, yes. Again, the medium to full, I'm like, I would put it at a medium coverage, period. I am gonna powder everything again so you can see what that looks like. Alright, so with the powder, I do feel like it re-mattified everything. And up close, I don't feel like I'm seeing any of like those oil meets powder bumps, if that makes sense. I know that sounds weird, but sometimes when I like put powder on top of some of my oils or some of the oily foundations, it just ends up looking really disgusting. I actually prefer the way my skin looked prior to this, but I did want you guys to see what it looked like repowdered. You know what I mean? If you haven't guessed by now, I would actually recommend trying out this brand if you're actually interested. I really, really do like the foundation, will continue to use it, and actually would repurchase. Same as the concealer. And as far as the blush, I would recommend that as well. I really like it. I do hope they come out with a few more colors, only because this was the only color out of all 8 of them that she came out with that I was actually interested in. I do like the lippy, however, I'm not gonna repurchase anymore. It's just not necessary. I have so many blotted lips already as it is. So that one's a little bit meh. I'm actually pretty glad I tried this stuff out because I really wasn't going to. So I'm glad that I did. I'm pleasantly surprised. I would definitely recommend you guys check it out. But that about does it for me, guys. Hopefully this video was helpful and fun, entertaining, all that great stuff. If so, please give me a thumbs up. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video if the mood suits you, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.